Hello, everyone. I am Brady Suarez, aka Silva Crow. Today, back here with another amazing reaction. This time, we are reacting to a story. So, the story has been going around for a good while now, for over a week, a little bit. But it's a 3-year-old story, and let's just say the title is wild. 12 years old, basically 12, and pregnant story time. And it's coming from the channel of, make sure I pronounce this right, Tillman Game, the Tillman Game. So shout out to them. And this based on the title, what the fuck? The best way I can put it. And all I can say is, if you like any of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to the Tillman Gang. I will leave the original link to this video down below, so you can watch it uninterrupted. And link to my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow me on those social platforms. Link to my Cashapp. Feel gracious enough to donate whatever you want to donate. That's fine. If you don't, that's fine as well. Same thing with super things, but by donating, like, comment, subscribing, sharing, it lets me know you're rock with the reaction content, rock with the channel, and rock with your boy. And what kind of mess I'm about to get into? So all I can say is, let's get started. All right, we here with this crazy ass story. All I can say is, let's get started.
Okay, y'all, so this is story time on how I ended up pregnant and a mother at 12. So my...
This is a wild story. This is a wild story. What the fuck? And here's the weird part. Before she goes in on the story, this shit does happen. Like in the strangest way. There's some people okay with it, which is weird, and you should be okay with with your kid getting pregnant at 12, being that active at 11, 10 years old. What the fuck?
Mom sent us to South Carolina for the summer, which we actually ended up staying longer. And my aunt was introducing me to everybody, like her in-laws and all. One of her in-laws is like 17. I want to say he was like 16 at the time. He caught my attention. At the time, I was hanging around people that was older than me. I did not look like I was 11. So my aunt was introducing me to everybody when we came down here for the summer. And mind you, I have one older brother and two younger brothers, and everybody's older than me, and I grew up with nothing but boys and some girl. My older cousin, she was about 17, 18 at the time. She told me that I need to be in a child's place and stay away from teen boy.
Which, based on how we got this freaking story, you should have listened. But I guess you were a kid at the time. Kids don't like to listen.
Think nothing of it, so I was hanging around with everybody. But again, y'all, this one boy caught my attention. He was, at the time, I thought this boy was fine, bad to the bone. I'm running out of time. Like, okay, y'all, part two. So after my aunt finished introducing us, they told us all to go play outside. I'm a tomboy. Again, I grew up with nothing but boys, so at the end of the day, I was playing outside with them. Then we started playing hide and go get it. I did not know what...
I might be old. And here's the weird part. I don't know how old the story that she telling, what year this took place. Hide and go get it. Hold on. I have to look things up because I don't know. I know hide and seek, but hide and go get it? What is hide and go get it?
According to Imager, no, it means that girls go hide while the boys close their eyes and count to 60. If a girl is caught hiding, the boy is allowed to go get it, meaning he gets to bed her.
Oh Lord, no! I wish I stayed ignorant. Oh my God! Oh, I missed the person how I was a few seconds ago. Oh my Lord! Oh, okay.
the fuck that was, okay? I did not know. So we playing hide and go get it, and I just so end up happened to be with him. So he's helping me through the neighborhood while we're playing because it was a big ass neighborhood. And then we ended up back at my aunt's house. Now this is the part when we start talking to each other and asking like actual questions, like how old we were and all of. Now we started going over our ages. I told everybody that I was 10 turning 11. So it's not like people did not know how old I was. But again, y'all, I told y'all I did not look my age. I looked older. And then he was just telling me how pretty I was, how cute I am, this, that, and the third. I was fine, this, that, and the third. And me being 10, I did not know exactly what that meant. Okay,
Yeah,
y'all,
you're
I
10.
am running out of time. I'm on part 3. So now we're talking about how pretty I am or whatever the case may be. And now at this moment, we're hanging out even more. I'm hanging around them even more because my mother done lied about us being in South Carolina only for the summer. It ended up being for the damn school year. So now here I am entering the 5th grade. Just started my period and all. My mother talking to me, letting me know about period, being pregnant, boys, all this stuff like that. So I'm just listening to my mom like, nope, I'm not getting pregnant. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing none of that. Can't nobody talk me into doing that, okay? But again, y'all.
And yet we have the story.
I liked this boy so fucking bad. So here I am hanging around them now all the time because now I live in South Carolina and I'm going to school in South Carolina and I'm seeing them all the time. Going to football games, basketball games, everything. So now, this is the night that it happened. So he had a football game. And of course, because in my head that was my man, I went to the football game. And let me tell y'all something real quick. Public service of fucking announcement. This man was claimed to be my man because we were already together. Okay, y'all, part 4. So this is the night that it happened where I actually lost my virginity. So after the football game, they came down to my aunt's house because at the time we were staying with my aunt, and nobody was home. Nobody was home at all. So since nobody was home, of course, a nigga gonna sweet talk you out your draw. And again, I'm 11. So, mind you, we've already been kissing and whatever the case may be. So now we're kissing and touching and whatever the case may be. And now it's time to do the do. Of course, me being me, I was scared as fuck. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I like this boy. And I was told by the boy, if you love me, you will do. The worst mistake I ever did, okay?
Right next to, it's just a tip. Come on, just a tip. Alright. And my lovely fiance, she asked me ever did pull that shit. I'm like, fuck no. It sounds childish then. It sounds childish now.
So now he said that, and I'm like, damn, I love this boy, so let me go ahead and do it. So we ended up doing it. This was the first time ever that I did the nasty. No protection, no none of that. So we didn't use protection, and you know, in my head, I'm like, if I'm on my period, I can't get pregnant, and that's what it was. So now at this point, we're having sex. Okay, y'all, part 5. So now at this moment, I'm having sex with this person constantly because in my mind, this is my man. So now fast forward to November. I'm getting thick. And y'all, when I say I'm getting thick, like my boobs are growing bigger than what it is. My butt is growing bigger than what it is. And I already have an ass. So now he's looking at me. He's like, what we going to do with that? I'm like, what do you mean? So I started noticing I'm sleeping more when I get home from school. Like, I'll do my homework and I'll go straight to sleep. And my mama started to notice something was wrong. So, y'all, I had a little pudge or whatever kiss may be, which I'm not known to have a pudge. So my mom looked at me. She was like, something ain't right. Let me check you. So my mama laid me on the bed and checked me down there, literally. And I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you checking me? What's going on? So this is a constant thing. We're having sex. I'm being sleepy. My mama checking me, whatever the case may be. So now we get to my birthday, which is in January. Okay, y'all, I'll post part 6 in the morning. Y'all ready for part 6? Okay, y'all, so now fast forward to my birthday. Me and my mom got the same birthday, and we took a picture together. My mom sent the picture to my aunt in New York. My aunt in New York was like, something don't look right. Kiera is getting bigger, and I'm never big. So then my aunt in New York was like, y'all need to go get Kiera checked. She look pregnant, and if y'all don't get her checked, I'm calling DSS. So that was the 7th of January. Fast forward to the 27th. My mother called me off the bus on the 27th, my full government name in front of everybody in the front of the neighborhood.
If you ever get called your full government name by your parents, wife, or whoever you thought, you're screwed. Period. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, chill, you embarrassing me. What's going on? She took me to the hospital. And she was like, we're going to get this test done so that way we can prove everybody wrong. A few hours go by. The doctor said, Mom, good news is she ain't got no STD. Bad news is your daughter's pregnant.
I'll post part 7. I'm sorry, y'all. Here's part 7. So now my mama in the hospital flipping shit. She calls my dad to let him know that I am pregnant. Of course, he's crying and doing the most, as he should as a father. But then now my mother's asking me, who is it? Who are you sleeping with? Who is the father? I try to keep it in as long as possible. But then I just broke down and started crying even harder and told her who it was. So then we went to his house where him and his parents live. And my mother's telling his mother and his father, like, listen, your son got my daughter pregnant. And he burst out in tears. His mom almost threw him out the window. My mother ended up calling my aunt down here. And because my aunt was pregnant as a teen, she flipped. So I'm sitting in a chair. She literally jacks me up. And
Damn.
my family's like, why did you do it? Why did you have sex? And I'm like, because I wanted to try it. Everybody else was doing it. I had an itch. That's what I said. I'm running out of time. Part 8 coming. I told you I was coming back with part 8. So, after everybody found out that I was having sex with him, and now that's going to be my baby daddy, my mama was like, hell no, she ain't having this damn baby. His family was like that too. So my mom was like, we going to need to do what we have to do so that way we can go ahead and get her this abortion. So everybody know January, end of January, tax time comes, right?
Yeah.
So my mom was waiting on her paperwork to come in, and she went to go file her taxes. So my mama took me to doctor's care, if anybody know what that is, just to see how far along I was. Doctor care took blood, and they was like, okay, she's only 3.5 to 4 weeks pregnant. Okay, cool.
Okay. The math ain't mathin'. If you're getting this pudge and things are getting bigger, that doctor don't know what he's talking about. Oh Lord, no.
But now my mama Texas didn't come in on time, so now we have to wait 2 more weeks. So that would make me 6 weeks. So we're waiting on, her taxes to come in. And then they finally came in, okay? I'm running out of time, y'all. Okay, part 9. So her taxes finally came in, and I did not go to school. So she told me we was going to Georgia. And I'm like, okay, why are we going to Georgia? She was like, so you can have the abortion. So in my head, I'm like, why we just can't do it in South Carolina? And she was just like, certain amount of weeks, you have to do it out of state. So now, me, his mama, his daddy, his aunt, and my mama going to Georgia. So we cruising to Georgia, and now we get to the abortion clinic. So the lady is like, how are you doing? How many weeks are you? Now at this time, I'm 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Okay.
So now, we're going over everything, and she's talking to me about how the process works. So she lays me on the table, and my mother is standing beside. So the girl lays me on the table, and she has the vaginal ultrasound. So she goes to stick the vaginal ultrasound inside of me. And then once she stuck the vaginal ultrasound inside of me, okay, y'all, part 10. So now she's sticking the vaginal ultrasound inside of me. And of course I'm hurting. So she takes it out, and she was like, I know it feels uncomfortable. We're going to do a different way. So now she gets the other ultrasound. If you ever been pregnant, they put it on your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes to put it on my stomach, and she like pressing hard down too, trying to, measure the baby, see, hear the heartbeat and all. Then she goes and said, uh-oh. And I was like, uh-oh, what? She was like, nothing, Mom. I'm going to go ahead and double check before I tell you anything. So she get the double checking, and she getting writing stuff down. And I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at my mom looking at me, and we looking at each other. She was like, Mom, she's not going to be able to get this abortion. And my mom was like, well, why the hell not? She said, because your daughter is 5.5 months pregnant. I was like, oh, hell. Part 11.
First of all, sue the first doctor who told you that you were 3 to 4 weeks pregnant, because you weren't. God damn. Oh, babies having babies. Oh, Lord. Okay.
So now my mom is hella pissed.
As you were, yeah.
Then I get up, fix myself and go out the room. My mama's coming behind me. Then his dad sees me storming out the building, and he comes and hugs me. And I just start crying even harder. And he was like, what happened? You don't want to tell me right now? And I'm just shaking my head like, no, I'll tell you later. I don't want to talk about it. So now we have to drive back to Columbia. And we get back to Columbia, but instead of them dropping us off home, they took us to their house. And they're like, well, we need to figure out what we're going to do with the baby. And I'm just crying. I kept saying, I don't want the baby. I'm too young. I don't want a baby right now. Then they asked him what he think. He's looking at me like, I want to keep my baby. I got to come back for part 12. I swear. Part 12. So now that we are at the house and discussing everything that's going on with the baby, I decided to tell them I'd rather give my baby up for adoption. Yeah. I don't want her to be around my mom who's an alcoholic. Yeah. And once I mentioned the reasons why, he was just like, no, I'm going to be there for my baby. I'm going to take care of my baby. Doing all this extraness. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, this is about me. This is not about you. I don't...
Knowing the fact that he also is a child in a way. Yes, he's 17. Technically almost an adult. But you made an adult decision with a child mindset. And it's like, what are you doing?
My baby in a family, no. Nowhere around here, no. So now he's basically trying to plead his case, him and his people, trying to plead his case about why I should keep the baby. So my mother was like, at the end of the day, I already tried to make her have an abortion. I'm going to leave this up to her. So my mother was like, we can go home, you can think about it, because I don't want this stressing you out. So we left, and I went home, and I just cried my eyes out. Y'all are so hilarious. But yeah, here's part 13.
Yeah.
So now, of course, I've been thinking about it. It's been several months. I've been thinking. My due date is May 17th. So I'm like, at this moment, I got to make a decision for real, for real. So, me and him conversating on the phone on what we wanted to name our child. He wanted the name Raven. And I was just like, okay. But ultimately, it's still my decision since I'm the mother. And then me being in love with him, in my head, I was like, damn, if I do keep this baby, me and him could be together. We can raise this baby together, whatever the case may be. Then my father got involved. And I'm the only girl. And when I tell you the definition of a daddy's girl, that was me. My father was not playing none of that. My father was like, you're not going to impregnate my daughter. She's only 12. And now you're talking about you want to raise a baby with her? All I know is my dad hired a private investigator. And it went downhill from there.
Damn.
Okay, y'all, so part 14. So, like I said, my dad hired a private investigator. And at this point, I'm being homeschooled. So, that was, the second semester of my 6th grade year? So, the private investigator comes to my house and introduces himself. And he lets me know, like, yeah, I spoke with your father in New York, and he told me about the situation. Now he's wanting me to elaborate. Now, the private investigator is telling me how it all works, or whatever the case may be. Then he goes and showed me pictures. And now the pictures he showed me was of my daughter's dad and some other boys and even his brother. So now the private investigator is like, okay, so your dad told me the situation. I need you to let me know which one of these are the people that you slept with. And I'm like, and if I tell you, is he going to get in trouble? He was like, no, he's not going to get in trouble, but you should still tell the truth. I was hesitant, but I was like, it's the private investigator.
Yeah.
So I picked his picture to let him know. Part 15. So the private investigator took the notes down and then left my house. I want to say it was like a week or two later. My mother gets a call from his parents, I want to say, saying that police just went to the school and they arrested him. So now here I am.
Wait. So did the private investigator lie to her, saying that, oh, he won't get in trouble? And then a week or so later, he got in trouble. Wow.
And in love with this boy, crying, like, no, like, what did my dad do? He done messed up my chances of being with him. It was a lot. And then my mother was like, okay, I need to call your father so we can see what's the plan. So now the private investigator is, talking to my mom, talking to me, and talking to my dad. And they let us know, like, okay, we did arrest him. And I want to say he was like in 10th or 11th grade. And this whole time, we're still in communication with the PI. And did I mention it had to be like a few weeks before my due date, March 16th. So now here he is arrested. And of course, I'm pregnant as hell. And prior to this, my mother had conversated with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, when I tell y'all this, please don't go in. I did not want him to be in jail. My mother also did not want him to be in jail. My mother was like, at the end of the day, you know, he was 16 turning 17 when we were sexually active.
Yeah.
But he was already 17 when we found that I was pregnant. And she was like, he cannot do nothing for his child behind bars, so why are we locking him up? And then because he was 17, my mother was like, he's also a child. She did not agree with what he did. But taking him out his child's life was not sitting well with her.
Yeah.
So again, a few weeks before I gave birth, my mother did help him with posting money to his bill.
Yeah.
Now, he may say otherwise, but my mother did help. And then, of course, y'all, he got out. And now it's getting close to March 17. So now he gets out of jail. And when he gets out of jail, it's about the time for me to go into labor. So now I'm in labor. And it's his aunt, my mom, and then one of my friend's mom was there. My friend's mom didn't stay, but it was just my mom and his aunt. So now it's time to push. My mom's holding my leg on one side. His aunt's holding my leg on the other side. So I done pushed my baby out after being snipped down there because I was too small. And then, of course, my mother cut the umbilical cord. Now, y'all, remember I said he went to jail. His charges were criminal sexual conduct with minors, 2nd degree. Even though that my father pressed charges on him, we could not be in the same room, we could not see each other. So while I was delivering my baby, he was not there. But he did come up to the hospital after I gave birth. Again, we could not see each other, so they had to close the curtain. Now, here's the part where I made the decision to keep my baby. Because, of course, I didn't talk about 18. So after he comes to the hospital and he sees my baby, I decided to keep my baby. Now, I didn't decide to keep my baby because he was there. I had decided to keep my baby while I was pushing and my mom cut the umbilical cord and they put my baby on me. I just couldn't fathom the thought of me carrying a child for 9 months and then giving her up for adoption after I done gave her life.
Yeah.
And of course,
which is understandable.
So I told my mom, I said, Mom, I can't do it. I want to keep my baby. She was like, that's a hard pill to swallow, but it was my decision because I'm the mother. So now it comes to the part where we're naming the baby. Again, he wasn't there. He had to leave because we couldn't see each other, and his peoples wasn't there after that. It was just me and my mom. But his people wanted to know if I was giving my child their last name. I was thinking, for what? What do I need to give her y'all last name for? So I told my mom to tell them she's not getting their last name and she was getting my last name. And again, I'm 12. Yo, this is part 19. So like I said, I did not give my child their last name. So I came up with my baby's name. I named her myself. I gave her my maiden name and all. I wasn't no stupid little girl now. About my baby, no. She not just about to have her dad's last name just because you done helped me made her. Now, like, you got to show me why she needs your last name. Remember earlier when I was like, he wanted me to keep her? So now she's kept. So now, you know, it's a few days in the hospital. They calling up, they're trying to check on her or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
We tell them she's doing fine. And then, of course, a few days go by and then they discharge me. So now here I am, just gave birth, 12 years old, recovering because I got stitches down there. And now his family and everybody want to come down to my house to see the baby. Of course, me being me, I didn't have no problems because I'm like, that's her side of the family too. So, of course, they want to come see her. Y'all, this is crazy.
There's more? Okay. Is this the rest of it? Hold on. I think there's more.
So, because I'm back and forth to my grandmother's house.
Oh, no. Yeah. If I need to... Hold on.
26. So now here it is after us taking a DNA test.
Yeah, I need to find the rest of the story. Now I'm heavily invested. Like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, okay. But I guess that's the end of the video, and all I can say is, if you're not ready, don't do it for a boy. Do it for you. But don't do it at that age. You know you're not ready. But that's the end of the video. So if you like any of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to the Tillmon game. I will leave the original link to this video down below so you can watch it uninterrupted. And till next time, please take care of yourself, stay hydrated, stay safe, stay warm. Peace out.
Little questions is everything that